Let's talk about why now is the very best time to be getting involved in the world of land investing. Hey guys, this is Sumner Healey from landinvestor.co. If you guys are new to the channel, we build out weekly videos teaching folks how to scale 6- and 7-figure land investing businesses. If that sounds up your alley, be sure to subscribe before we dive into this video. Over the last 2 weeks, I've taken dozens of calls with folks looking to join our land investing accelerator program. And we keep on getting this recurring question. People are saying, hey Sumner, I'm really excited, I want to get involved. But I'm scared. I'm scared that the economy is shifting. I'm scared that the real estate market's shifting. And you know what? I think maybe I should wait. And this isn't the first time I've heard this. So many folks that are looking to make a jump in their life, whether it's investing in real estate, starting a land investing business, or really starting any business, there is this nagging voice in the head that always tells us that maybe now is not the best time. Maybe now isn't the time that we should be making this big leap in our life. I've been there before. I know what that inner dialogue feels like. What we're going to do together in this video is break down the 4 points why now is actually one of the very best times to be launching your land investing business. Point number 1 is you are starting a business here, and maybe you don't feel like a business owner yet, maybe you don't feel like an entrepreneur yet, but one of the skills you need to begin honing is a tendency towards action. By nature of launching a land investing business, you are going to become an entrepreneur. There's just no way around it. And the best entrepreneurs, they have this innate tendency towards action. There's this concept that doing it today is always better than doing it tomorrow. And there's some Chinese proverb about, hey, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, second best time is to plant it today, something along those lines. And that was a quote from thousands of years ago, and it still rings true today. Imperfect action today will always beat perfection tomorrow. And the irony is our action tomorrow is going to be equally as imperfect. You see, anytime we're starting something new, by nature of starting something new, we're not going to be great at it. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to slip up. We're going to have things that go sideways, and that's totally okay. That is just what it looks like anytime you're starting something new. It's my belief that we want to get these hurdles out of the way as quickly as possible. If they're inevitable, we're going to make some mistakes. Let's make those mistakes today. So if you want to start a land investing business, you first have to understand that you are going to become an entrepreneur. And you don't want to be a subpar entrepreneur. You want to be a fantastic entrepreneur. You have everything it takes to be an incredible entrepreneur. And one of those innate skill sets that every single phenomenal entrepreneur possesses is this tendency towards taking action now. So this is your moment to hone that skill set. This is your moment to show yourself that you are taking the steps to become a phenomenal business owner and a phenomenal entrepreneur. There are far too many people in this world who are sitting with regrets, whether it was because they didn't go and talk to that girl or that guy, or because they haven't started that business, or because they haven't done what's been festering away in their mind. Don't let this be you. I know you're better than that. The second point is that we're moving into a buyer's market. So even though things are slowing down and ultimately the total amount of properties trading hands over the next year or 2 years or 3 years, however long this slowdown lasts, that volume is going to go down. And that's just a product of our economy going into a slowdown and heading towards a recession. And so yes, we want to be mindful of the markets that we're buying in. We want to be mindful of the properties that we're buying in. But even when things are slowing down, there's still markets that have tons of activity in them and make sense for you to be going and purchasing land in. Now in those markets, you're going to be able to actually go and buy properties at a deeper discount. When things are ripping and roaring and it's a seller's markets, a lot of times sellers know what their properties are worth. They know they can get top dollar. In a lot of cases, they know they can go list it on the MLS and probably get a bid on the property within a week or two. Now the times are shifting. A lot of folks are realizing, hey, I've owned this property for 20, 30, 40 years. I'm scared that the values are going to go down. And on top of that, if I do want to liquidate that cash, I understand that now I'm sitting on a property that might take 6 months to sell. It might take 12 months to sell. And so when we come along with our offer, it's a lot more appealing. The caveat here is that you want to really make sure that you're buying at a true discount. You don't want to be buying on 2022 prices or 2021 prices, because if you're building your offers off of what properties were selling for 6 months ago or 12 months ago, you could run into some trouble. I do expect with this slowdown that we are going to see some prices start to shrink in certain markets. So in those markets, you want to be really mindful on how you're basing your comps. The biggest problem that you could run into here is if you're looking at a comp from say 3 months ago that sold at 100 grand and you think you can sell that property at 100 grand, so you offer 40 grand or 50 grand, come to find out it's actually trading at 80 or 75,000, right? And so that's where you really want to be careful. If you're basing offers off of recent comps, take into account that you're probably going to need to apply a discount rate to that just to have a margin of safety. What's been really interesting is that in our land investing business, we've actually had a plethora of sellers reach out from the last 6 to 12 months who initially declined our offer. They've now reached out to us. They've taken it upon themselves to reach out to us directly, and they say, hey, we actually do want to accept your offer. Interestingly enough, for some of those properties, we had to actually come back and revisit with a lower offer just because, hey, the market's shifting, and some of those folks still accepted our offer. This to me is the canary in the coal mine. This is telling us, hey, People are starting to get antsy. They're starting to know this property is going to become exponentially more difficult to sell over the next few years, and so they're looking to liquidate it. Now on our end, we just have to be really mindful that we're purchasing it at a price that makes sense, and then we have that margin of safety like we discussed. The third point is tough times make tough people. This is a great time to get started in the business because you are going to build excellent habits. On some level, I feel bad for the people that started in 2021 or 2022 because the only thing that they've known is a fantastic market. They've only known that you can go and throw a property up in the MLS and get an offer like that. They've only known that you can get away with not having true infrastructure in your business, not having teams, not having phenomenal customer service, and still have a really, really profitable land investing business. By starting at a point where things are slowing down, you're going to be playing the game on hard mode. Now that might sound negative, but the truth is real estate is a very cyclical business. And so when things naturally progress and start ripping back up again, the skills and the habits that you've developed during these times are going to pay dividends once things become easy again, if you will. What's interesting is I had started my land investing career back in 2019, but initially it took me about 6 months to get up and running. I was figuring everything out on my own. I didn't do any coaching, any courses, anything along those lines. And so really once I started to pick up steam, it was right when the pandemic hit. And there was a solid 6 months where things were really, really scary. We were not sure if we were going to sell the inventory that we had. Now, of course, as you guys probably know, things did start picking up and actually the land market went absolutely bananas. But there was this weird 6-month awkward phase where we didn't really know what was going on and there wasn't a ton of volume on our end. And so I look back at those 6 months and I look at the habits that I've created that I still carry with me today. And in my opinion, they've paid dividends to the success that we've had in our business. Even though things are tough, the business is still wildly profitable. We're still hitting record-breaking months in our business. And it's not like you're going to be running into a situation where you're not able to turn properties or have really profitable flips. You're just gonna have to be a lot more diligent with the markets that you're working in, the types of properties that you're buying, how you're negotiating those deals, how you're marketing those deals, what your customer service is like, what the full experience is like for sellers and buyers to work with you. You're going to have to hone in on those points in your business, but in the long run, that's going to be in your best interest. The fourth point is anytime you're starting something new, you're naturally going to get what I call paper cuts. And these are small scrapes and bruises that you're naturally going to get along the way anytime you're starting something new, especially a business. When you're walking into a new industry and you're starting a business from scratch, there are so many variables, there's so many things that you don't know yet. And so by nature of that, you are going to have some friction. You're going to have some moments where you do get hurt. Now you need to make sure that these paper cuts are minor and it's something that you can recover from. And that's why I do advise going through coaching or a course or something that's going to give you the guardrails so you're not going too far off the path and really injuring yourself. But even going through a program, you're still going to have some hiccups. You're still going to have some problems. And there's just no way around this. And in my mind, I want to get that phase over as fast as possible. Whether you're starting now or you're starting 5 years from now, you're still going to run into these paper cuts. You're still going to have these little scrapes and bruises that hurt, but they don't take you out of the game, right? This is how we learn. And so when we're starting something new, we need to expect that. Now, the sooner that we can get over this, the sooner we can graduate from this initial kind of awkward 3 to 6 month phase where we don't really know what we're doing. We had a property go sideways. We had a marketing campaign that didn't work. The sooner that we can get over that and actually learn from those experiences, the quicker we can get to the promised land, the point where it's like, hey, we're crushing $100,000 months, $200,000 a month. We've got a team in place. We've got systems. We've got processes. We've got automation. We've got delegation. Like we've really got a true infrastructure that's humming along. That's the promised land. That's where you should be looking to get. And that's exactly what this business can deliver. But there's no way you get involved in land investing, and that's the reality from the jump. You're going to have to pay your dues. So it's my opinion that we want to pay our dues as quickly as possible. The fastest way to do that is by starting now. And that kind of ropes back into point number one, right? Like having that tendency towards action. But not only that, we want to create the expectation that, hey, the first 90 days, the first 180 days, they're gonna suck. It's gonna be painful. There's gonna be some ups, there's gonna be some downs. But the sooner we can work through that, the quicker we can actually get to the point where we have some traction and we have momentum on our side. And that's when this business becomes really, really exciting. When you wake up at 7:30 a.m. on a Tuesday and you already have a 25K profit day or a 50K profit day or a 100K profit day, that's when the juice is worth the squeeze. And that's attainable for everyone in this business. I see it all day long in our business. I see it all day long with the folks that are within our Land Investing Accelerator program. This is possible for you. You can do it. You just have to expect some turbulence along that journey. So hopefully I've convinced you guys that now is the time to start. Do not wait any longer. If you have had any interest in land investing, make the jump. You won't regret it. I promise you that. If you stick with this, you can make something incredible out of it that will forever shift your life. It's exactly what it's done for me. It's exactly what it's done for the folks in the program. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, I respond to every comment. Drop them down below. I will respond to you. And typically I write about a paragraph back because I love talking about this stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions about land investing, head on over to landinvestor.co. You guys can go check out our course. We actually have a free module on there from the course that you guys can go watch. It's pretty insightful just in terms of how the course is actually structured, so you can get a sense of how it's structured and what the actual quality is within the program. With that being said, I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.